The sun was a warm blanket on the shoulders of the Miller family. They sat together on a gentle rolling hill, a patchwork of green and gold under the vast blue sky. Liam, the father, leaned back on his elbows, a smile playing on his lips as he watched his two children. His daughter, Maya, who was 10, was carefully weaving a crown from daisies, her brow furrowed in concentration. Her younger brother, Noah, only 7, was lying flat on his back, trying to find shapes in the fluffy white clouds that drifted lazily overhead. Their mother, Alara, sat with a book in her lap, though she hadn't turned a page in some time, content to just soak in the perfect stillness of the afternoon. The world around them was a symphony of simple joys. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves of a nearby oak tree, making them whisper secrets to one another. The air was sweet with the scent of freshly cut grass and the faint earthy smell of the soil beneath them. Bees buzzed from one clover blossom to the next, their tiny legs dusted with yellow pollen, performing their vital ancient dance. This was their sanctuary, a small piece of the planet they called home, a place where time seemed to slow down, allowing for moments of pure, unadulterated peace. They felt connected not just to each other, but to the very ground they sat upon and the air they breathed. Every detail of this day felt precious, the way the light filtered through Maya's hair, turning it into a halo of gold. The sound of Noah's quiet laughter as he declared a cloud looked exactly like their dog, Buster. The feeling of the soft blades of grass tickling their skin. These were the small, seemingly insignificant moments that, when woven together, created the beautiful tapestry of their lives. They were a family unit, a tiny island of warmth and love existing in harmony with the natural world around them. It felt as though this perfect afternoon could stretch on forever, a timeless portrait of familial bliss under a benevolent sky. Liam reached over and gently took Ilara's hand, his thumb tracing circles on her skin. She looked up from her book, her eyes reflecting the endless blue above. No words were needed. In that shared glance, they communicated a universe of feeling, gratitude for this day, for their children, for the simple, profound beauty of being alive. It was a moment suspended in time, a perfect memory being forged in the gentle crucible of a summer's day. They were just 4 people on a small hill on a small planet, orbiting a single star in a vast galaxy, and for now, that was everything. It was Noah who saw it first. He pointed a small finger towards the zenith, directly overhead. "Look!" he said, his voice filled with a child's simple curiosity. "The sky has a hole in it." The others followed his gaze, squinting against the bright sun. At first, it looked like nothing, perhaps just a strange dark cloud forming. But it wasn't a cloud. This was something different. It was a perfect circle of absolute blackness, a patch of night that had been cut and pasted into the middle of the day. It didn't block the sun, it simply erased a piece of the blue canvas, replacing it with an impossible void. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the circle began to grow. Around its edge, a mesmerizing light started to swirl. It wasn't a harsh light, but a soft, ethereal glow of deep blues and radiant purples, like a cosmic nebula or the colors of a twilight sky blended together. This swirling light danced and shimmered, a beautiful, silent storm at the border of nothingness. The family watched, not with fear, but with a growing sense of awe. This was not something from their world. It was a visitor from the deepest, most mysterious corners of space, revealing itself in their familiar sky. This celestial object was a supermassive black hole. You can think of a black hole as a place in space where gravity is so incredibly strong that nothing, not even light, can escape its pull. It's like the universe's ultimate waterfall, but instead of water, it pulls in space and time itself. The beautiful light they were seeing wasn't from inside the black hole, it was the event horizon, the point of no return. It was the light from distant stars and galaxies, stretched and bent and superheated as it was pulled into the abyss, singing its last beautiful song before disappearing forever. The air around the family began to change. The gentle breeze stilled, and a strange, humming silence fell over the hill. The bees stopped buzzing, the birds stopped singing. It felt as if the entire planet was holding its breath, gazing up at the celestial marvel that had appeared. The black hole continued to expand, its dark heart growing wider, its violet and blue halo becoming more brilliant. Maya put down her unfinished daisy crown, her eyes wide with wonder. This was bigger than any science lesson, more amazing than any picture in a book. The sky was no longer just a sky, it had become a window into the profound mysteries of the cosmos. As the black hole's immense gravity began to take hold of their solar system, the sky transformed into a celestial ballet. The familiar sun, once a fixed point of light, began to drift across the heavens as if it were a boat loosed from its moorings. Then something even more spectacular happened. A brilliant point of red light, the planet Mars, streaked across the sky, its path a fiery arc against the deepening twilight. It was soon followed by the majestic ringed form of Saturn, which glided past like a ghostly galleon on a cosmic sea. The planets, once distant and separate worlds, were now neighbors in a grand final procession. The family watched, mesmerized. The world didn't feel like it was ending. It felt like it was revealing its true, magnificent self. The sky was no longer a static backdrop, but a dynamic stage where the laws of physics were performing their greatest work. The pull of the black hole was like a cosmic choreographer, guiding the planets in a swirling dance towards their destiny. Jupiter, the giant of their solar system, appeared with its swirling storms and its family of moons, a breathtaking spectacle that filled a huge portion of the sky before it too was drawn towards the beautiful swirling void. Everything felt different now. The gravity on their own hill seemed to shift, a gentle but persistent pull upwards towards the sky. Loose pebbles and blades of grass began to float, suspended in the air like dust motes in a sunbeam. Noah laughed with delight, reaching out to touch a floating dandelion seed that hovered just beyond his fingertips. Ilara and Liam held each other, their initial shock having completely melted away into a state of profound wonder. They were witnessing the fundamental forces of the universe at play, a sight no human had ever been meant to see. This was the power of gravity, the invisible force that holds galaxies together and keeps our feet on the ground, now made visible and all-powerful. The supermassive black hole was simply doing what it was born to do, gathering matter, pulling the very fabric of space-time towards its center. The solar system was unraveling, not in a chaotic explosion, but in a strangely graceful and orderly spiral. The planets, stars, and even the light from distant galaxies were all joining a cosmic river, flowing together into a new and unknown ocean of existence. The final moments arrived with a serene and breathtaking beauty. The Earth's own moon, a familiar silver coin in the night, grew larger and larger until it filled their view, its craters and seas visible in stunning detail before it too was gently swept away into the swirling colors of the event horizon. One by one, the last of the planets followed, each one a final silent farewell. The family was no longer sitting on a hill on Earth. They were on a lifeboat, adrift in a cosmic ocean, watching the very definition of their world dissolve into light and shadow. Liam gathered his family close. He knelt and wrapped his arms around Maya and Noah, and Ilara joined them, her arm around his shoulders. They formed a small, tight circle, a single unit of warmth and life against the grand, indifferent cosmos. They held hands, their fingers intertwined, a simple human connection in the face of an unimaginable event. There were no tears, there was no fear. In their eyes, there was only the reflection of the swirling blue and purple light, a shared expression of pure, unadulterated awe. They were seeing the universe for what it truly was, a place of constant change, of endings and beginnings. As their own world began to lift from its foundation, breaking apart into soil and rock that floated gracefully towards the black hole, the family felt a sense of unity they had never known before. They were not just a family, they were stardust. They were made of the same elements forged in the hearts of long-dead stars, the same stuff that made up the planets now disappearing before them. In this final moment, they felt an unbreakable connection to everything. They were not being destroyed. They were simply being returned to the cosmos, their atoms ready to be part of the next great creation. Holding hands, they watched as the last piece of their world, the very ground beneath their feet, dissolved into the cosmic river. They were floating now, together, looking into the heart of the beautiful abyss. It was not an end, but a transformation. They were witnesses to the ultimate cosmic recycling program, seeing firsthand how the universe takes things apart to build something new. The family, united in wonder and love, drifted toward the light, becoming one with the great, beautiful and eternal dance of the cosmos.